You may be walking every day because you believe it is protecting your heart, strengthening your legs, and helping you remain independent. But what if the way you walk is quietly working against you? What if the knee pain you notice afterward is not simply a normal part of getting older? What if the heaviness in your legs, the stiffness in your lower back, or the exhaustion you feel after a short walk is actually being caused by a mistake you repeat with every step? I am Dr. James Carter, and I regularly hear the same frustrating story from adults over 50. They tell me they have been walking faithfully for weeks or even months. Some walk for 20 minutes. Others push themselves for 45 minutes or longer. They expected to feel stronger, steadier, and more energetic. Instead, their knees hurt more than before. Their calves become tight. Their feet feel numb or sore. Some return home with tension across the neck and shoulders. Others feel so tired after walking that they begin questioning whether exercise is helping them at all. Many of them assume their age is the problem. They tell themselves that their joints are simply worn out, their circulation is getting worse, or their body can no longer handle physical activity. But in many cases, the problem is not walking itself. The problem is how the walk is being performed. Walking is often described as one of the safest and most accessible forms of exercise. That is true. It requires no gym membership, no complicated equipment, and no advanced athletic ability. However, safe does not mean impossible to do incorrectly. A small error repeated for thousands of steps can gradually become a significant source of strain. A head held too far forward can tighten the neck and interfere with comfortable breathing. Shoes that no longer support the feet can change the way force travels through the ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. Looking at a phone can reduce awareness of the ground and increase the chance of a serious fall. After 50, these details become more important because the body no longer responds to stress exactly as it did at 30. Muscle tissue may gradually decline unless it is used consistently. Joints often require more time to loosen after rest. Balance can become less automatic. Recovery may take longer, especially after an activity that is new, intense, or performed with poor technique. This does not mean your body is fragile. It means your body benefits from a more deliberate approach. The right walking habits can support circulation, help preserve leg strength, improve balance, maintain joint mobility, and protect your ability to perform everyday activities without assistance. But those benefits depend on how you prepare, how you move, and how you respond to the signals your body gives you. In this video, I will show you 7 common walking mistakes that many adults make without realizing it. More importantly, I will show you how to correct each one without turning your walk into a complicated exercise routine. These are not advanced athletic techniques. They are simple changes involving your pace, posture, footwear, schedule, arm movement, attention, and recovery. One of these mistakes may already explain why your walks leave you feeling worse instead of better. And the first mistake begins within the opening moments of the walk, before most people have taken even 100 steps. The first mistake is starting too fast. Many people step outside and immediately begin walking at the fastest pace they believe they can maintain. They may feel that a slow beginning is a waste of time. They want to raise their heart rate, burn calories, or finish the walk as efficiently as possible. But your body cannot move from complete rest to full effort instantly. Before the walk, you may have been sitting at a table, driving a car, watching television, or lying down. Your muscles have been relatively inactive. Your ankles, knees, and hips may feel stiff. Your heart and blood vessels have been working at a resting level. When you suddenly demand a fast pace, every system must adjust at once. The muscles of your calves and thighs have not yet reached their most comfortable working temperature. Cold or stiff muscles are less prepared for repeated loading. This can contribute to tightness, discomfort, and soreness, especially when the first several minutes include hills, stairs, or unusually long steps. Your joints also need a gradual transition. Movement helps distribute the lubricating fluid inside the joint and allows the surrounding tissues to become more flexible. When you begin aggressively, the knee and hip may be asked to accept more force before the movement feels smooth and coordinated. Your cardiovascular system must also respond. Your heart rate rises, your breathing becomes faster, and blood flow is redirected toward the working muscles. A gradual increase gives the body time to make these adjustments more comfortably. A sudden increase may leave you breathless, lightheaded, or unusually fatigued before the walk has truly begun. The solution is simple. Make the first 3 to 5 minutes intentionally easy. Your opening pace should feel slower than the pace you plan to maintain during the main part of the walk. Take relaxed steps. Allow your arms to move naturally. Breathe steadily and give your ankles, knees, hips, and back time to settle into the movement. The first 5 minutes should almost feel too easy. That is not wasted time, it is preparation. After those opening minutes, gradually increase your pace. You should feel warmer, more coordinated, and more comfortable than you did when you first stepped outside. This single adjustment costs no extra time. You are still walking for the same number of minutes. You are simply organizing those minutes in a way your body can tolerate more effectively. But a proper warm-up cannot protect you if the position of your body is wrong during the rest of the walk. That brings us to the second mistake: walking with poor posture. Look closely at how many people move when they are tired, distracted, or looking at the ground. Their head drifts forward. Their chin points down. Their shoulders roll inward. Their chest collapses, and the upper back becomes rounded. This position may feel natural because many people spend hours sitting, driving, or looking at screens. But carrying that posture into a 20 or 30-minute walk changes the way the entire body handles each step. When your head moves too far in front of your shoulders, the muscles of the neck and upper back must work continuously to support it. That is why some people finish a walk with tight shoulders, discomfort at the base of the skull, or an aching sensation between the shoulder blades. They may blame the weather, their pillow, or their age, but the discomfort may have started with the position of their head. Rounded shoulders create another problem. When the chest is compressed, breathing may become shallower. Instead of allowing the rib cage to expand comfortably, you begin taking smaller breaths from the upper chest. This can make a moderate walk feel more exhausting than it should. Your legs may still be capable of continuing, but your breathing makes you feel as though you have already reached your limit. Poor posture also affects everything below the waist. The body works as a connected chain. When the head moves forward and the upper back rounds, the lower back and pelvis often adjust to keep you from falling forward. That compensation can change the angle at which force passes through the hips and knees. Over hundreds or thousands of steps, a small alignment problem may contribute to unnecessary strain. The goal is not to force yourself into a rigid military posture. Instead, imagine that a gentle thread is attached to the top of your head and is lifting you slightly upward. Keep your chin approximately parallel to the ground. Look ahead rather than directly at your feet. Allow your shoulders to relax and move slightly back. Keep the chest open without pushing it forward. Your spine should feel tall but comfortable. You still need to watch for obstacles, so do not stare at the distant horizon without checking the path. Let your eyes scan several steps ahead while keeping your head in a neutral position. Try this adjustment now. Sit or stand as you normally would. Notice where your head is positioned. Then, gently bring it back over your shoulders. Release the tension in your neck and allow your chest to open. You may immediately notice that breathing feels easier. That is the position you should return to throughout your walk. Do not expect perfect posture every second. Fatigue and distraction may cause you to collapse forward again. Simply check your position from time to time and correct it without becoming tense. A gradual start prepares your body for movement. Better posture allows that movement to travel through the body more efficiently. But even when both of those habits are correct, every step still depends on what stands between your feet and the ground. And that is where the third mistake begins. The third mistake has nothing to do with your motivation, your fitness level, or even the distance you walk. It starts before you take your very first step. It is the shoes you choose to wear. This surprises many people because they assume that if a pair of shoes still looks clean on the outside, it must still be doing its job. But appearance can be misleading. A walking shoe may continue to look almost new long after the cushioning inside has begun to lose its ability to absorb impact. Every step you take sends force from the ground through your feet, ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. When your shoes are providing proper support, they help distribute that force more evenly across your body. When they are no longer doing their job, your joints often have to compensate. The change usually happens so gradually that people never notice it. Instead of thinking, "My shoes are wearing out," they think, "I guess my knees are getting older." Age certainly plays a role, but it is not always the entire explanation. After the age of 50, the feet themselves also begin to change. The natural fat pads beneath the heel and the ball of the foot may become thinner over time. The muscles that support the arch can gradually lose strength if they are not challenged regularly. Some people notice that their feet become slightly wider than they used to be. Others discover that shoes which once felt comfortable now create pressure points after only a short walk. Ignoring these changes can affect much more than your feet. Imagine trying to build a house on an unstable foundation. Even if every wall is perfectly constructed, problems begin at the ground level. Your feet are the foundation of every step you take. When that foundation becomes unstable, the rest of the body is forced to adjust. Sometimes the ankle rolls inward slightly more than it should. Sometimes the foot lands unevenly. Sometimes your stride becomes shorter without you even realizing it. These small adjustments may seem insignificant on a single walk. Repeat them thousands of times every week, however, and they can place unnecessary stress on the knees, hips, and lower back. Another common mistake is believing that softer always means better. Many advertisements promote shoes with extremely thick cushioning, making them appear as though you are walking on clouds. Comfort certainly matters, but shoes that are excessively soft can sometimes reduce stability, especially for people whose balance is already changing with age. Instead of feeling firmly connected to the ground, every step may become less predictable. On the other hand, shoes that are overly stiff or worn flat may no longer absorb impact effectively. The goal is balance. You want enough cushioning to reduce repetitive impact while still feeling stable during every step. So how do you know whether your shoes are still helping you? There are several simple things you can check at home. Place both shoes on a flat surface and look at them from behind. Do they lean noticeably to one side? Examine the bottom of the sole. Has one area become much smoother than the rest? Look inside the shoe. Has the heel lining worn away? Press your thumb into the midsole. Does it still provide some resistance, or does it feel completely compressed? These observations often tell you far more than the color or appearance of the shoe. It is also important to remember that different activities place different demands on footwear. Shoes designed primarily for casual everyday wear may not provide the same level of support during longer walks. Likewise, an old pair of running shoes that has been sitting in the closet for years may no longer provide the protection it once did, even if it has only been used occasionally. When choosing walking shoes, focus on comfort first. Your toes should have enough room to move naturally. The heel should feel secure without slipping. The sole should bend near the front of the foot rather than folding in the middle. Most importantly, the shoe should feel stable from the moment you put it on. Do not expect discomfort to disappear after breaking them in. If something feels wrong during the first few walks, it usually deserves attention rather than patience. Remember, walking is a repetitive activity. A tiny problem repeated 6,000 or 8,000 times during a walk rarely stays tiny. Fortunately, there is another mistake that has nothing to do with your shoes, yet it places just as much stress on your body. And many people make it because they believe they are being productive. The fourth mistake is trying to make up for an entire week of inactivity with one very long walk. I hear this all the time. Someone tells me they have been too busy to exercise during the week, so when Saturday finally arrives, they decide to walk for an hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours. At first, they feel proud of themselves. The next morning is a different story. Their knees ache, their hips feel stiff, their calves tighten. Even getting out of a chair becomes uncomfortable. By Monday, they begin thinking that walking simply is not right for their body anymore. But the real issue was not walking. It was asking the body to handle far more than it had been prepared for. Your muscles, tendons, and joints adapt best when they receive regular signals. They do not become stronger because you overwhelm them once. They become stronger because you challenge them consistently. Think about learning a new language. Studying 15 minutes every day usually produces better results than studying 10 hours once a month. Your body responds in a surprisingly similar way. Consistency builds adaptation. Large, unpredictable bursts of activity often create unnecessary soreness instead. This becomes even more important after 50 because recovery generally takes longer than it did years ago. That does not mean you should avoid longer walks forever. It simply means your body benefits from progressing toward them gradually. If you currently walk twice a week, adding a third shorter walk may provide more benefit than doubling the length of your longest session. Likewise, increasing your walking time by 5 or 10 minutes every week is usually easier for the body to tolerate than suddenly adding 40 minutes all at once. The best walking routine is often the one you can repeat comfortably next week, not the one that leaves you needing several days to recover. Many people also believe that walking longer automatically means walking better. That is not always true. A 30-minute walk performed with good posture, comfortable breathing, and steady movement often provides greater long-term value than an exhausting 90-minute walk that leaves your joints irritated. Quality matters just as much as quantity. Now there is another habit that quietly reduces the quality of almost every walk. Most people never think about it because they are focused entirely on what their legs are doing. They forget about their arms. This brings us to the fifth mistake: walking with stiff, motionless arms. Watch healthy walkers closely. Their arms move naturally in the opposite direction of their legs. When the left leg moves forward, the right arm follows. When the right leg steps forward, the left arm swings naturally. This pattern is not accidental. It is one of the ways the body maintains rhythm and balance. Unfortunately, many adults gradually stop using this natural movement. Some keep both hands buried in their jacket pockets. Others hold a water bottle in one hand throughout the entire walk. Some cross their arms behind their back. Others grip their phone so tightly that one arm barely moves at all. Without realizing it, they force the lower body to work harder to maintain balance. The result is often shorter steps, reduced efficiency, and greater fatigue. The solution does not require exaggerated arm movements. You are not speed walking in an Olympic competition. Simply allow your elbows to bend comfortably. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands swing gently beside your body without crossing in front of your chest. The movement should feel effortless rather than forced. You may even notice that your walking pace becomes smoother without trying to move your legs any faster. It is remarkable how much easier walking can feel once the entire body begins working together, instead of each part moving independently. By now, your walk has a better beginning, better posture, better footwear, a smarter schedule, and more natural movement. But there is one modern habit capable of undoing every one of those improvements within seconds, and chances are you have probably done it yourself more times than you can count. So far, we've talked about preparing your body, improving your posture, choosing the right footwear, building a sustainable routine, and allowing your entire body to move together. Now, I'd like to discuss something that has become one of the biggest obstacles to safe walking, especially over the last decade. It's something millions of people carry with them every single day: their phone. Many people assume that checking a message while walking is harmless. It only takes a second. I've walked this route hundreds of times. I know exactly where I'm going. Those thoughts sound reasonable. Unfortunately, accidents often happen during the moments when we feel the safest. One glance at a screen is enough to disconnect your attention from the environment around you. Your eyes may still be open, but your brain is no longer processing the path ahead with the same level of awareness. Instead of noticing an uneven sidewalk, a loose stone, or a curb that is slightly higher than expected, your attention is focused somewhere else. For younger adults, the body can often react quickly enough to recover from a small mistake. After 50, that recovery becomes less automatic. Balance depends on several systems working together. Your eyes provide information about the environment. Your inner ear helps detect movement and changes in position. Your muscles and joints constantly send signals to your brain about where your body is in space. When one of those systems becomes distracted, the others must work harder to keep you stable. That is one reason falls become more common as people grow older. It's rarely caused by one dramatic event. More often, it begins with several small factors happening at the same time: looking at a phone, taking a slightly longer step, not noticing a crack in the pavement, reacting just a fraction of a second too late. Those tiny moments can quickly add up. Even if you never fall, walking while distracted often changes the way you move. Your stride becomes shorter. Your pace becomes inconsistent. Your shoulders tighten. Your head tilts downward. Without realizing it, many of the posture improvements we discussed earlier begin to disappear. The same problem can occur when listening to music at a volume that completely blocks outside sounds. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your favorite songs or an interesting podcast during a walk, but maintaining some awareness of your surroundings is equally important. Being able to hear approaching bicycles, traffic, or another pedestrian can help you react before a situation becomes dangerous. One habit I often recommend is treating your walk as an opportunity to reconnect with your surroundings instead of disconnecting from them. Notice the rhythm of your breathing. Pay attention to how your feet contact the ground. Observe the trees, buildings, or changing weather around you. These simple observations do more than improve safety. They also reduce mental fatigue. Many people tell me that after putting their phone away during walks, they feel calmer, think more clearly, and actually enjoy the experience much more. Walking can become one of the few moments during the day when your mind finally slows down. Your body benefits from the movement, your brain benefits from the break, and perhaps most importantly, your attention remains exactly where it should be, on the path in front of you. But even if your walk is performed perfectly, there is one mistake people often make after they arrive home. Ironically, it happens when they believe the exercise is already finished. The sixth mistake is ignoring recovery. Many people think recovery is something only athletes need to worry about. They imagine professional runners sitting in ice baths or receiving sports massages after intense competitions. But recovery is simply the process that allows your body to adapt to the work you have just completed. Without it, even a healthy habit can become unnecessarily uncomfortable. After the age of 50, this becomes increasingly important. Your muscles may need more time to repair themselves. Your connective tissues may respond more slowly to repeated stress. Small aches that disappear overnight in your 40s may linger for several days later in life. That doesn't mean your body is failing. It simply means it deserves enough time and support to recover properly. One of the easiest ways to improve recovery is surprisingly simple. Don't stop abruptly. If you've been walking at a comfortable pace for 30 minutes, avoid standing completely still the moment you reach your destination. Instead, spend another 2 or 3 minutes walking slowly. Allow your breathing to settle naturally. Let your heart rate decrease gradually instead of all at once. This gentle transition often feels much more comfortable than an immediate stop. Hydration is another area people frequently overlook. As we grow older, the sensation of thirst may not always be as noticeable as it once was. You may finish a walk without feeling thirsty, yet your body may still benefit from replacing the fluids you've lost, especially on warm days or after longer walks. There's no need to force excessive amounts of water. Simply make hydration part of your routine instead of waiting until you feel completely thirsty. Many people also rush straight into a chair after returning home. They sit down, turn on the television, and remain in the same position for the next hour. Unfortunately, muscles that have just been active often become stiff when movement stops suddenly. Instead, spend a few minutes performing gentle movements. Roll your shoulders, stretch your calves, loosen your hips. Move through comfortable ranges of motion without forcing anything. The goal isn't to become more flexible overnight. The goal is simply to help your body transition back to rest. Recovery also means paying attention to what your body is trying to tell you. There is an important difference between normal fatigue and warning signs that deserve medical attention. Feeling pleasantly tired after a walk is expected. Experiencing mild muscle soreness after increasing your activity can also be completely normal. However, chest pain, severe shortness of breath, dizziness that doesn't improve with rest, sudden swelling in one leg, or pain that continues getting worse instead of better should never be ignored. Those situations deserve evaluation by a healthcare professional rather than simply pushing through another walk. One final point is often forgotten. Rest days are not a sign of weakness. Your goal isn't to prove how much discomfort you can tolerate. Your goal is to build a walking habit that you can still enjoy years from now. Some days your body will feel energetic. Other days it may ask for a shorter walk or a slower pace. Learning to recognize that difference is part of walking wisely. Because the healthiest routine isn't the one that impresses other people. It's the one your body is willing to repeat again tomorrow. Now we've covered 6 of the most common mistakes that can quietly reduce the benefits of walking after 50. There's only one final piece left, and in many ways, it may be the most valuable of all. Instead of focusing on another mistake, I'm going to show you how to combine everything we've discussed into one simple walking routine that almost anyone can begin using immediately. We've covered 6 habits that can quietly reduce the benefits of walking after 50. Now I'd like to leave you with something much more valuable than another warning. I want to give you a simple routine that brings everything we've discussed together. Think of it as your walking checklist. Not something complicated, not something you need to memorize. Just a few small habits that can make every walk safer, more comfortable, and more rewarding. Imagine you're getting ready for tomorrow morning's walk. Before you even leave the house, take a quick moment to prepare. Choose shoes that feel supportive and stable. Wear clothing that allows you to move comfortably. If it's a warm day or you plan to be out for a while, bring water with you. Most importantly, leave with the intention of listening to your body instead of competing with anyone else. Once you begin walking, resist the temptation to rush. The first few minutes are not about speed. They're about giving your body permission to wake up. Let your muscles loosen naturally. Allow your breathing to settle into a comfortable rhythm. Give your joints time to move smoothly before asking them to work harder. Those first few minutes often determine how the rest of the walk will feel. As your body becomes warmer, gradually increase your pace. You don't need to walk as fast as the person passing you. You don't need to match someone else's fitness level. The best walking pace is one that allows you to breathe comfortably while still feeling that your body is working. A simple rule is this: if you can carry on a conversation without struggling for every breath, you're probably walking at a pace that is appropriate for most days. While you're walking, check in with your posture every few minutes. Lift your eyes toward the path ahead. Relax your shoulders. Let your arms swing naturally. Take smooth, comfortable steps instead of trying to force longer ones. These small adjustments may seem insignificant, but together they create a walking style that places less unnecessary stress on your body. Equally important is paying attention to how you feel. Your body gives feedback throughout every walk. Healthy effort usually feels steady and manageable. Warning signs feel different. If you develop chest discomfort, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or pain that suddenly becomes intense, don't ignore those signals. Stopping to assess the situation is far wiser than pushing through simply because you plan to finish a certain distance. Remember, your goal is not to prove how tough you are. Your goal is to protect your health for the years ahead. As your walk comes to an end, don't stop abruptly. Slow your pace for the final few minutes. Allow your breathing to return to normal. Let your heart gradually settle. When you arrive home, spend another minute or two moving gently before sitting down. Stretch your calves if they feel tight. Roll your shoulders. Take a few slow, comfortable breaths. Those simple habits can make tomorrow's walk feel much better than today's. Perhaps the most important lesson of all has nothing to do with speed, distance, or step count. It's consistency. Many people spend so much time searching for the perfect exercise program that they overlook the value of simply showing up. A 20-minute walk repeated 4 or 5 times each week is usually far more valuable than one exhausting session that leaves you sore for several days. Your body responds to habits, not heroic efforts. Small improvements, repeated consistently, often produce the greatest results over time. I've also learned something else after caring for older adults for many years. The people who remain active into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s rarely describe themselves as exceptional athletes. Most of them simply refused to stop moving. They adjusted when necessary. They respected their limitations without allowing those limitations to define them. They understood that every comfortable walk was another investment in their future independence. That is what I hope you take away from today's conversation. Walking after 50 isn't about chasing a certain number of steps. It isn't about burning the most calories. And it certainly isn't about keeping up with someone who is 20 years younger. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to continue doing the things that matter. Walking through an airport without fear, climbing the stairs in your own home, playing with your grandchildren, traveling with confidence, shopping without needing assistance, living life on your own terms. Those are the goals worth protecting. If today's video helped you see walking in a different way, I'd love to know which of these 7 habits surprised you the most. Share your thoughts in the comments below because your experience may encourage someone else to make a positive change. And if you'd like more practical, science-informed advice on staying healthy, active, and independent after 50, be sure to subscribe and join me for the next video. Until then, take care of your body, keep moving with purpose, and remember this: every healthy step you take today is an investment in the freedom you'll enjoy tomorrow.